I'm Nicole Fitch with John L. Scott Realty. We're standing here in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods here in Central Oregon. This is the Highlands at Broken Top. Today we're going to take you on a tour in one of our listings on Sutherland Court. I'm excited that we have Greg with us from Norman Building and Design here to showcase what this home has to offer.
It's historically a pleasure to be here. We built this home in 2005. Actually, it began in 2005. It's set on 10 acres. The whole community is unique in that way. There's 56 10-acre home sites. And so the feeling of space is unique, and yet we're 7 minutes from downtown Bend. So we love working here. We love the opportunity to build here, and we're excited to be able to share something like this, even though we don't get to build it again. So anyway, I think we're going to take a walk and show you. 10 acres is a lot of land. You'll enjoy it. There's one of the first homes that we built in the community, and to see how it's changed. People talk about Central Oregon trees. They really don't grow. My gosh, 20 years of growth, these ponderosas, they're magnificent. And they're why we live, first off, in Bend, but more particularly on the west side, where the ponderosas are the towering ponderosas. They're beautiful and majestic, and you'll see that there's many of them on this property. And it overlooks the water reservoir of the community. So you get the plus of a swimming pool, but also to look down over water, which is very cooling and enjoyable in our summers. You know, you asked, is this home current? Would somebody look at it and would they want to change things? This, in fact, reflects classic Central Oregon. Timber frame, a contemporary take on a lodge. There are other styles in this community. The community is wonderful that way, but the heart of this home is as beautiful today as the day we finished it, and will be so 25 years from today, because this is why people move to Central Oregon. This is why people come to live in the mountains. You don't, for me, you don't come to live in a white contemporary box. No offense, but a lodge feels like it connects to the ground. And you'll see this home, it looks as if it's rooted to the soil, and it grows out of it. And the trees and the landscape complement that view. This house looks large, but it's bigger still when you live on the inside. I mean, this looks organic, but this was created to sort of nestle you, and then as you come around the turn, you're presented to the house.
Yeah.
And so you get to discover the entry around this beautiful water feature. That's where we put the bow, is right up there.
Oh, wow.
In the peak of
in the peak of it.
It's interesting things you don't notice, but look at the triple stack cedar. That's all finger jointed clear cedar, and doing that triple stack gives the roof dimension and strength, and I've always felt like it makes the house seem so rooted to the ground, because the roof looks like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's the thing, but all these beams, all the outlookers, all of this, we talked about how they wanted those cut, what they look like. Each one of these was, all the metal had to be custom crafted. All of this metal was custom done. And then the rock work, and then this door was a feature to, it's not a normal door, it's just a push to
It's
open.
just a push door.
Just a push to open. As you walk in, this push door it was actually the very first time we did it. And we worried about how we would make this heavy door latch down, and this handle and everything about this. It's funny to me, homes are tactile, structurally feeling solid, things that kind of call you out to, like, you want to come over and hug it, right? These big beams. And you think of these are not cosmetic, they're structural, they're carrying the loads, but you see them, you see these. We did that custom iron work that intersects all of those, and every detail of the home speaks to the word that gets beaten up a lot today is bespoke. But this home has a bespoken element to it. It's custom, the cabinetry, each of these cabinets, each drawer, each location was they worked with our cabinet designers. These are all select cherry, which means it's without blemish, you don't see knots. And so each cabinet, each drawer, each pull, everything was selected for each element of the house. And it looks today as it looked 20 years ago. I guess we finished in 2006, so 19 years ago. But these all the way down to these wood caps, this wood detail. This is just the detail in this home suits to live as a couple, or to live with a big family, or to live with a multi-generational experience, and to entertain. I want to say the biggest party I was at, there was probably 80 to 100 people here, and it was beyond comfortable. And it just lived big enough to fill everybody and make them all feel at home. So I guess the feature that every home has when you walk in, what's your first impression? This one always reminds me of our client that we built for. And this house was in fact architecturally done by a firm out of Kirtland, Washington called Realty. I don't remember the first name, I apologize. But the client, the original owners, had gone to a hotel that had a library surrounding the lobby. And so they desired to have that feeling of being surrounded by a library, but yet embracing the beauty that was here, because this is what brings you indoors and outdoors. All the glass, all the places you look, wherever you look, your eye is drawn outside. So no matter how big the house is, it still draws your eye outside and it feels bigger still. But all of this ironwork, all of that, the reed paneled into those panels there, the fireplace going up through this, it just, when it's wrapped with books or whatever mementos, if you will, or the precious things of your life that you can display, they're here for you, but yet there's undiscovered surprises upstairs as you go up there. The house is just, like I said, it's fun to be here again because it really is extraordinary.
And we're glad to be able to hear it from you.
Oh no, it's this is every home is people. That's true of every home we build, every home you remodel. It becomes not a home; it becomes so-and-so's home. It becomes their place, whether that's you're the first owner or whether you're the fourth owner. One of the things I should say, because this is Norman Building Design speaking, every one of the owners that have had the pleasure of this home since its completion has a connection to us. They have our phone number. If they have a problem, if there's a plumbing question, a lighting question, whatever the issue is, you shouldn't have to call a plumber, an electrician, somebody else. You call us, and because we're builders, we get attention, we get it done, and we handle it. We are our client's best friend, and in fact, most of them have Cabana Boy by the phone number for our warranty fella, because he really is. It's extraordinary to have that level, because most people don't know anything about their homes.
Exactly.
They know how to live in it, they know how to enjoy it, they know how to cook, but when it comes to a problem or a question or gosh, we didn't build this, so we don't know what this does or where that is, we can come in and walk through. Your client, when you're lucky enough to have a client, we'll be happy to be there and walk through with them when they're settling in and show them how things work, how it does. I mean, it should be. These homes are special.
They are special.
This is a special home, and they should know that how best to enjoy it fully. So we have been in business this is year 49.
Yep.
So we have a lot of history in Central Oregon.
1977.
1977. I built my first Norman home. I'm a client 4 times. I built my first Norman home when I lived in Connecticut, and we built in Sun River in 1989-90. And then Jim Norman, who was the founder of the company, he and I spec'd the home. And then I built 2 subsequent homes in Broken Top, and have lived in Broken Top now for 25 years. And I've worked with Jim for 24 of those 25 years. So if there's, whatever the color of Norman is, I bleed it, because I believe it's uncommon that a builder does what we do. And it's why I can enjoy being there, because I know what we say we will do. And that's what this reflects.
And that's when I get a listing and I know it's a Norman build, I'm excited because I do know if there's anything that they need, you're there for them.
It's a small gift to give to people, because it builds. I mean, if you're 49 years at it, it means you get to remodel homes that are 40 years old. This home has had additions, no remodeling really, but additions done over the years. And they came to us because we built the home and they wanted it all to harmonize. A home has to feel connected. And this home feels connected to not only its surroundings, but every room and every area to its adjoining room, even though the purpose may do that. For example, if we go over here, when we first built this home, our clients had a baby grand piano. It might have been a grand, but I think it was a baby grand. This room used to have a baby grand piano, and it had a dresser or a cabinet here so that their two bulldogs could jump up on there and wait for the family to come home. Along comes our second owner, who's passionate about his collection of both wine. We have a beautiful wine cellar, but this area was reimagined by us to create the bar experience. You'll even see these, I love these, as maybe silly a detail as this is, to look at a bar room and to kind of think of that Western bar that you had. It's just wonderful. There used to be a guitar collection on that wall. Now it's a TV area. Each room is special. Every space can be thought about and special. This is an area to feature something special for the next owner. Whatever that treasure is, whatever that passion is of theirs, that's a beautiful creation of something that has been reimagined multiple times. If you got to work, not a bad spot to be able to work in, with your desk wrapped around, all in that same beautiful custom cherry, doors leading you outside, so on a beautiful afternoon or in the morning, you can open the doors out and feel connected to your guests who are swimming in the pool, or maybe they're playing on the lawn, or maybe they're doing a foosball. What is that? Foosball, is that what you do? You throw whatever that thing is.
Cornhole.
Cornhole, that's it. Right?
Cornhole, yep.
This is an extraordinary office. Not many homes would have an office like this, and most people would find it a great place to spend time, because every room is bright. Every room has natural light. Everyone feels connected, yet but when necessary, each of those custom doors can close, and it creates a sound barrier that allows you to feel private, to conduct your meetings, and to do the things that you want to do, and in a way that supports your way you want to live. So we'll go this way. I'll tell you, most homes that we have built, every client wants to have if you will, the main bedroom suite has to be separated from the rest of the house, so that when guests come and you want to go, the answer is you wouldn't naturally want to go toward their master. It would be separated. Well, this home took that and put it on steroids, with these beautiful glass hallway leading us down to a door that mimics the front door, down to the hardware. Here's the hot tub. So it's available to the guests, but it's accessed right off the master suite. You can see the door. I'm very tactful. Front door's 2 1/4 inches thick. The master bedroom door is 2 1/4 inches thick. This is a serious door. It probably weighs 300 pounds. And when it's closed, I don't think you're going through into the master. But people don't notice doors.
No.
But the truth is, when a door, these are 1 3/4 doors, all cherry. They're substantial, they're heavy. There's none of the inexpensive doors. These were each custom crafted for the opening of place. But this door was intended to mimic that front door.
That front door.
You see the hardware, you can see everything about it mimics that front door. And it's also surrounded by the same rock that leads you through into the front door, and it leads you now into the main bedroom of the house, which is really I don't know what grand means to you, but when I can look in all directions and see outside. I can see connections to nature. I can see my swimming pool. I can see the hot tub. I can see grass. I don't see really neighbors. I can stoke the fire if I choose. I can be at peace. And when you have 10 acres, you should use it, and you should feel like it's not 10 acres, but hundreds of acres. That you've got an incredible feeling of privacy, and then you have a beautiful bathroom. This one is, I love these bowls. These were quite unique, and we stepped them down so that they didn't, sometimes you'll see these bowls used in homes and they're up really high, and it isn't very comfortable to use, but we set these down in there so that they felt more user-friendly, and a nice separation from Mr. and Mrs. I don't know who, but the truth is this bathroom had been a lovely place for sitting and doing makeup. And at one time, this was intended to be the covered, if you will, courtyard just off this. Could be an area for you to go outside and enjoy total privacy. There was at one point we were going to have an outdoor shower. We were going to have this is open to be whatever somebody wants it to be, but it's a beautiful space and creates that sense of separation and privacy. A lot of times, for example, there's a doorway that leads into the closet. So for example, if you're an early riser, one of you gets up early, you close the door so the other person can enjoy their privacy. You prepare yourself, you now go into your closet, and then you can leave the closet without ever disturbing somebody else. And so it's...
And this is quite the closet.
This is quite the closet. This is his and her separation. I think the smaller side is probably the his guy. This is far more than I have at home.
I was going to say the last owners, this was actually her closet.
Oh, okay. There you go. I mean, everybody and every home, it's the fun part of buying a home, is that you can imagine for yourself whatever makes it your place, your home. You're settled into it. And this is a beautiful closet, your full mirror. But now we go right back out the other side. Again, another beautiful door. And now you're back and available to outside. You're coming down the staircase. You probably, if you're a party goer, and if you like to entertain, here's the bar, and here's a beautiful half bath powder room. But you won't notice until you come into it, this art glass that was done by Rich DeWild, who's an artist in town, and an art glass that features and matches that grass cloth, and it makes it feel very the same but different, organically kind of grounded to the space, the beautiful almost green jade-like look. So I don't know if you want to go upstairs now, or would you like to keep going on the main level?
I think we should keep going on the main level.
Let's go to the main level.
Show what this home, how it does live very one level.
Okay, so anyway, stairs up, and in creating the stairs up, we've got an opportunity for a beautiful wine cellar with this, again, custom door, custom ironwork that reflects the same ironwork in the railing around the library wall. I don't remember how many bottles of wine, but it's quite significant. Beautiful spot to leave the light on. The dining room is a little more separate because we've got square footage, because we have space. You have casual dining on that side of the kitchen, but on this side you have a more, that more intensely personal side of dining, and you can come off the kitchen both around this way, but most likely you'd come off the pantry, butler's pantry area of the kitchen that would wrap around here for entertaining purposes. Cabinetry here was also built by us to separate and distinctly feature things that our clients wanted. You can see kind of even the detail. When we needed this post, you can see how we did the detail of the door to keep it blended into that same consistent look so that it matched that same double cap, the same ironwork. Here's another half bath for your guests.
So when you have those big parties,
you have those big parties, they got someplace to go. Your laundry room is here, but you'll notice we didn't, the laundry room didn't become something less. It's the same cherry cabinetry, the same beautiful finish work. There's no place in this home that sort of if you will, steps down because people don't see it. It's special everywhere we go. There are more doors. This door goes out to the covered patio with a wood-burning fireplace, which is very unique in Central Oregon to have a real true wood-burning fireplace. It still has gas, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful space. I've been out there and spent evenings when the fire was, in fact, this is a funny story. Our first client, where do we get wood, Greg? And I said, well, I could order you some wood. Little did I know that I'd end up with my wheelbarrow moving their half a cord of wood back here and then delivering the other half a cord to a friend of hers who's a realtor in town.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't know that I worked for Norman. She thought I was just part of the lumber crew.
Lumber crew helping out.
We did that, if you can picture that same hallway that led us to the master wing, we're now being led to another wing of the house. These doors lead out to the 3-car garage. And then this area is where we did some additional work. I think it's probably best to go first here into this bedroom.
Okay.
This was the last addition of a bedroom that we did for the house with, again, double doors. This is a Murphy bed, so it goes back into the wall, so this becomes a very large sitting area, but a guest room when necessary. Full walk-in closet, and leading out to the pool. So this might very well, but if you had I would think if you had grandkids or younger kids and they love the pool, this might be the ideal room for the pool because they could get right to it. But it's a beautiful bed that just slides up there, and again, that same cabinetry detail, the same cherry, the same handles, everything about this room matches the rest of the home. If there's a downside, it means you have to have a speed dial for all the window washers.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
There are lots of windows.
There's lots of windows.
And then this room is quite special if you're a movie enthusiast or somebody who gets into their movies. This is, again, I remember a party, and he went to USC, our second owner, and I went to UCLA, and we were watching the USC-UCLA game in here, and USC was beating the heck out of my Bruins. But this room has such a wonderful feeling to it movie rooms can be, if you like going to the movies, I love going to the movies. So for me to have something like this at home would be a rare treat because we make better popcorn than Regal's does. But it is a beautiful space, and this was actually, as part of the original build, a transitional space that we made into a movie room when we added that bedroom over there.
All right.
Do you want to go towards the garage just to get a sense of it at this point? Yeah. Let's stay on the first floor then. We'll go out here. Let's go to the right because there's...
We'll turn these lights on.
I don't know.
I'll find them.
I don't know where they are.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Here's a big storage room. So this is a very large space. When you think of things, when you have a home this scale, sometimes people don't give you enough space for your things. We do have central vac system. You can see that the cabinetry is nice. It's appointed well. It is more garage-like, but nonetheless, if you have things that don't fit in other places, this would be it. The garage here, we're going to go this way. You can see this is the big garage. This was built initially. We actually have an art studio over there. You can see where we did the half wall, and we created an art studio for our then owner. This has gone through various uses. You can picture that 13 Miatas fit in here at one point, but you can also picture there were 6 spectacular cars that were showcased by all this lighting. So if one is into garages, this is one where you could lose yourself, whether male or female, or if it's simply another space to retreat to. We do have a detached additional garage, and we have 3 more car garage right there. So this home is extraordinarily well staffed. If you like cars or bikes or motorcycles or ATVs,
toys.
Whatever you want, this is a home ready for toys. We do have hot and cold running water out here so that you can have hot and cold to wash the floor down. You can see the mat on the floor. We do have heat out here. So you want to keep it, if things need to be conditioned, this room, while not air conditioned, We can maintain a 55 or 60 degrees very comfortably. And a door to outside, garage doors. Even the garage doors are special in this house. So, and then we can go this way, and this is the 3-car garage. So this was the original owners, this is where their day-to-day run-around cars were stored. But you can just see how big the spaces are. This would be much bigger than most people's normal garage, and yet this is dwarfed by what's next door, or the 500 square foot of garage that's across the driveway. And we're back if you're trying to follow us, we're back towards the great room. So it's not tricky, but it's certainly a big home. I think it's probably that we kind of give you a sense of what the kitchen, I was going to go the wrong way. The kitchen is both, so we have the kitchen that we see from the great room, but you now have a butler's pantry. You have a true pantry with its own refrigerator, with all the space for whether it's tableware or dishes, or we've had clients who had dishes for every type of food they served, whatever you want, and then you have yet more storage and more kitchen space and a long prep sink and area here. And again, this leads you to outside. Your barbecue is right here. So if you barbecue, you can stage your barbecue right here. Your TV's out there. You've got your fireplace going. But it makes it easy if you don't want to eat outside to prepare food out here and then bring it inside. But you can see these are gas-fired heaters that put out an immense amount of heat. An immense amount of heat. And then the fireplace, as I mentioned, it's truly unique to have a wood-burning fireplace that's outside. And so you can stoke your fire, enjoy it, watch a ball game, whatever you want to do, it's available to you here. And if it's a beautiful day, then you go out and jump in the pool and have a great time. So there's far more house than you could see. It's interesting. You won't notice it unless you pay attention. This is all mahogany ceiling. This is all tongue and groove mahogany that forms the ceiling over this covered area, because what we believe should happen is when you come outside, you shouldn't be shocked by being outside, but rather there should be a sense of transition and a sense of home. And so you don't go truly outside until you go beyond the mahogany finished ceilings of outside. So it's really it's one of those details that Norman Building and Design, it's just who we are and it's what we do. But you can see the finish work and detail of this home does not stop anywhere you can see. It's everywhere you look if you spend the time to look. And the longer you're here, the more you'll sense it being truly extraordinary. So we'll go back inside, go upstairs. And so what we wanted to do is have this wrapping glass that make you, as you climb the stairs, you sense more and more of the light. And that basically makes you feel as if you're transitioning to another floor. Upstairs is when we're heightened into that library. We now have a different perspective of the library. Books, curios, features. You can imagine you might have a whole life's journey set up here. And what's kind of wonderful about this area, not only do you enjoy it, but when you're up here, there's surprises that you get to see. This is again, library door that allows you to swing open fully. And this is a reading nook. I believe there's a desk in here. It was initially a reading area. It became a desk area for them. But if you didn't know it was here, you would never find it. And these doors can handle whatever you want to put in them. So it's not as if you have to be careful about how much you put in there or how much will be there. All of these were locked to protect against valuables that were there. And again, we've identified the main bedroom. We've identified the guest bedroom at the far end of the house. Where else do I have people? Well, how about
It's a little tight from the new carpet.
Yeah, I know, because of the carpet.
Yeah.
This is the guest bedroom up here. So you have a full guest suite with a walk-in closet, beautiful views out over the pool and out towards the unbroken Highlands area. A wonderful place you could probably, I could picture in my mind, I've always pictured saying, oh, your bedroom's upstairs, and let them tell them they got to find it. Particularly if it was a kid. I think it would be fun to be able to discover things. And rooms like this are a treasure. And its own heat system, so you'd see that heat, everything's controlled by them individually. I'll just leave this open. Even these iron caps, which mimic the ironwork that is tapped between all those beams, all of these were done to do it. We have more of our library all around it there. And then you go to the additional bedrooms on this floor, which I think we've got to do. Here's bedroom number 2 upstairs. So full suite, full closet, beautiful. Again, those same beautiful doors. And it's funny that Cherry never, you asked early, would there be things that today we might change? The truth is, the change might be that cherry is a very expensive wood, and it may very well be that you wouldn't use and employ cherry in this way. That's select cherry. You can just see the beautiful, this is just the wood with a multiple layer of lacquer on it. And it's just so pretty. And it's just, it kind of looks, it's timeless. It's what people were crafting furniture in decades and decades and hundreds of years ago even, I suppose. And then hallway with more storage, a full bath for this room, and then here's your third, what would be the third bedroom on this floor. So we now have identified 5 bedrooms across 2 floors, and yet these rooms would feel quite separate, each of them quite distinct from the other, and each of them separate from the public areas of the home, which means they can go upstairs and be quiet, and but there could still be things going on, and you'd be kind of away from it all. So, and pretty view out here. I love the view this way. It's pretty. It's a pretty. You see the water feature, the beautiful statue of the elk over there. It's cool. And then I think we'll go. How about we'll go downstairs? And I suppose what we should do was we probably ought to walk across to the guest house. These open property. Each when the lots were developed, you have about an acre that the home can sit on, another roughly acre surrounding it for secondary areas. You can see this home feels a great deal like a compound. There's a collection of buildings, and that was actually by design. They liked that idea. And so all of the other, roughly 8 acres of every 10 acres is kind of open intentionally, never to be touched. So you have this sense of, if you will, openness and privacy, but you need to have a water retention pond because water's brought in, and they hold it there, and that water's then pumped out to water the sprinklers, which then they probably don't do it as much today as they did in the earlier days, but nonetheless, if there was a fire, you'd like that to be there. You'd like it to be available. Anyway, if you we've come off the house, and now you say, well, where do we probably have, how many guests and how many friends do I have? But this was intentionally created as both an art studio above, music room, and then a 1-bedroom suite down here. That's going to start a drop off behind you. And this is 1,203 square feet. I looked at it this morning.
That's for the downstairs.
That's with everything.
With everything?
With everything. 1,203 square feet. I love the water feature. I think it's absolutely spectacular. It just seems so, it just looks like it belongs. And so this room is for your, I guess it's maybe the guests you don't want to stay, or maybe the guests you want to stay. I don't really know.
And it sounds like a smoke detector is going off in here.
This room has its own fireplace, its own great room, its own cooktop, its own refrigerator, and here's where we can see the guy fly fishing. You can see no doubt one of our neighbors who's down there fishing into the reservoir. We do have a covered patio back here, so you could come out and enjoy it. And I suppose if you had your rod and reel, you could stroll down there and catch a fish. I don't think you'd want to eat it.
The sun, I know, I just got that in there.
This was intended to be a wonderful retreat for whatever guests they have. And so we've got this room, and you see this beautiful floor, this nailed kind of rustic floor. We have a full bath, and then we have a beautiful guest suite with its own TV, tremendous amount of cabinetry, wrapped by windows. And so if you gave this to a guest,
They're not going to leave.
oh, I wouldn't think. In fact, I think I told you a story. One of the first guests of our client when we finished, they had friends who came. They didn't know how long they were going to stay, but they were at 3 weeks. They finally broke down and asked them, when are you leaving? Because it was just so delightful to be here. But it's like a small home. And it has everything you need. We did build that piece of furniture specifically for this room. And then you go outside and you go upstairs, and we have the studio, and I think that has a half bath. When you're climbing like this, I want you to look again. All those soffits are mahogany, T&G mahogany that are wrapped. So as you walk up, again, even though you're outside, you're getting a sense of fit and finish and detail. And even though this is intended to be a studio or a guest, not a guest room, but rather an area to enjoy music or to
make it your own.
Whatever you wanted it
want
to be. Whatever you wanted it to be. This was an art studio. This was a guitar playing room. He played, our client had a band growing up in New Jersey. So he played guitars. He had a jelly roll. And this room is everything. So half bath over here. You can see areas where he had his beautiful guitars, but this could be a room for collection. If you were an artist, what a magnificent place to be a painter.
With the lighting
With the
and
lighting
view.
as it is, lighting coming from cross lighting, and it's just beautiful. Or if you're into crafts, or you're simply into want to have a place to have a quiet, there is so much possible in this home. There's so many places you could retreat to and have absolute privacy, yet still be home. And it really is rare that a home has everything like this. And if you were to replace this today, the cost would be staggering. They're just very large. Just to buy the land alone versus those early days. Bend has experienced a rebirth. My first home was built in 1989-90 when there were 22,000 people in Bend. And we moved here in 2000, finished the house in 2001, about 52,000. Now we're 110,000, and yet I can be down, if we hustle our way out, it probably takes me longer to get to my car in the front yard than it does for us to then go from there to downtown Bend to have a great meal or to be able to enjoy the amphitheater. And frankly, here, I know that you'll hear some of the music because it comes up the canyon, and you'll hear some of them. I used to hear Willie Nelson and some of the music, not perfectly, but you'd hear it enough to know that it was going on. So it's private, but yet spectacularly fantastic. It just really is. I'm sorry, this really is a treat to be able to come back and see this in the way that we've been able to do it. We consider ourselves very special. We work very hard with our clients, and we take a great deal of pride in our craftsmanship. And this home is a reflection of all the best that we do. So thanks.
I agree. Yeah.
Nice to have you.
I want to thank Greg for taking us on a tour through this beautiful home. As you can see, the quality of work that went into this build is unparalleled to homes that are built today. Look forward to taking you on another tour through another home. I'm out.
Perfect.
Was that stupid?
No, it wasn't.